Start now. Hare Krishna. So welcome all devotees for today's Bhagavatam session, our weekly Bhagavatam study circle. So we were discussing from last two sessions regarding the how Bhagavatam appeared within this and manifested within this material world. Since Bhagavatam, book Bhagavat and person Bhagavat are not different. So it's crucial to understand the principle that how book Bhagavat always appears through a person Bhagavat. Book Bhagavat manifests through a person Bhagavat. It is not just it dropped down from the sky, book Bhagavat or some scripture drop it. And when you approach a book Bhagavat through a person Bhagavat, then you can know more about the person Bhagavatas from the book Bhagavat. Because book Bhagavat contains glorious and wonderful activities of person Bhagavatas. So it's crucial that it's like what you call, it's like a coded system. So somebody has to decode it. So book Bhagavat is like that. The person Bhagavat decodes it. And in that you can see a manifestation of many wonderful person Bhagavatas who come out. So always the book Bhagavat manifests through a person Bhagavat in this material world. And we have a glorious personalities who are involved in manifestation of Bhagavatam with this material world. In that the first person, which we discussed last time, was on the compiler of Bhagavatam, that is Srila Vyasdeva. These are questions raised by the Sutta, Saunaka Rishi to Sutta Goswami. And there are two more personalities who played a key role in manifestation of the Bhagavatam, person Bhagavatas. Those two person Bhagavatas are the speaker of the Bhagavatam. That is Sukadev Goswami, and another person Bhagavat is the hearer of the Bhagavatam. That is Parikshit Maharaj. First hearer or first speaker. In fact, Padma Puran says that Bhagavatam was spoken in the beginning by Lord Shiva to Parvati, and the parrot of Radharani, who was standing on the Kadamba Vriksha, on a banyan tree, under which Lord Shiva is speaking to Parvati the glories of Bhagavatas. So that Sukha parrot heard. And the Lord Shiva became very annoyed that who is that person secretly hearing. And immediately the parrot entered into the womb of Vyasdev's wife. And he manifested outside as Sukadev Goswami. The Sukha parrot of Radharani comes as Sukadev Goswami. And then he speaks the Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. So, with us Saurav Prabhu. He is the most very enthusiastic devotee. And he's sitting silent, but his mind is very active. And he's known to do a lot of wonderful. He may be sitting in somewhere in Assam, but he does a lot of services for Calcutta. Recently designed some plan for the Radh House. Got approved in our temple council. Making that type of mini project you are taken. So he's trying to do a good in that, and he will be collecting funds also for that. Not only design, he also raise funds for it. Management. In his home, you can see all devotees. His wife is a devotee. His mother, father is a devotee. His brother is very cooperative. I hope he's also trying to be a devotee. And his brother's wife also. And brother's son also. They all are stayed together in Ranchi. and they're performing the devotional service, and they're so we have him here. Last, I think one time Mega spoke, na? Mega Mataji has spoken here in the Bhagavatam. Yeah. The first now, so today Saurabh Prabhu will be speaking from the section after Vyasdev. So further details, that entire 4th chapter will be concluding today. Yes, Prabhu, you are now. You want to share a screen of the verses, you can share it. And keep it clear, we are not reciting the verses. When you are presenting, you present the translation and speak some important points, whatever you feel relevant in that context which you felt.
Sure, Prabhu.
Prabhuji?
Sure, Prabhuji. Screen sharing is not enabled for me, Prabhu.
Yeah, I mean now it is happened.
So, I'll be speaking from verse 24 to 33.
Till 23 we completed, so 24 I suppose. Yeah. And you can
Yes,
recite that prayers. We have a standard, I think devotees are missing that aspect. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And then I'm doing it at the end. So if devotees can do that, will be nice.
Sure. Full praise, Prabhu.
Full prayer, small short prayer, not a problem.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Ajnana Puji.
Yeah, please.
Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhrishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this section that we are going to read today is the section where Vyasdev is actually feeling dissatisfied and is coming to a conclusion of his dissatisfaction. This is post he has compiled all his literatures except Bhagavatam. This is the background in which he decides and initiates his compilation of Srimad Bhagavatam, Lamalam Puranam. So till now he has compiled all the other Puranas, the Upanishads, Vedas and the Mahabharata. So here in the verse number 24, it is said that he has edited the Vedas, which might be assimilated by less intellectual men. Prabhupada gives a very important emphasis that he has done it out of compassion. And as Prabhupada explains that it was primarily Vedas were one, but they were divided into parts so that different parts can be read by different categories of people or people with different qualifications. And the qualification is not based on birth. That also Prabhupada highly emphasized here. Some people who think because I am a Brahmana, I can read. And some people think that because I am not a Brahmana, I cannot read. Prabhupada said both of them are misguided. So it does not depend on your birth, and typically needs somebody to explain it to you. The subject matter is explained. If, first of all, you need a good qualification, and you need somebody who's properly qualified to explain it to you. So out of his compassion, Vyasdev played that role by dividing it into multiple parts so that it can be explained to different people. And at the present age, as Prabhupada says that this mode of goodness is really low, so it is difficult for people to actually understand Vedas. And here it is said that he compiled this book Mahabharata, which is primarily consisting of multiple pastimes related to Lord, but it has politics, it has multiple things to help people progress in the path of devotional service. So there are people who cannot understand directly Vedas. Typically mentions women laborers and the friends of the twice born, the Dvija Bandhus. So the Dvija Bandhus, for them, he has translated, he has compiled Mahabharata. So here, Prabhupada is also talking a lot about Dvija Bandhus, and he's talking about Garbhadan Sanskara. Prabhupada tells that the two births, Dvija, what is called, one is the Garbhadan Sanskara and other is the Upanayan Sanskara. He actually doesn't talk of the real birth as a birth, which I had read it before, but I never gave proper attention to this before I was reading it today. That the two birth is not birth and the Upanayana. The two birth, he says, is the Garbhadan and the Upanayana. And Prabhupada talks that unless one is born through Garbhadan Sanskara, he is not qualified to read Vedas in that sense. But because of mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can read and understand things in today's age. Now, here comes a verse that after compiling everything, Vyasdev is not feeling satisfied. So, although he has prepared everything himself, but he is not feeling satisfied. So, he thought what he has done is for the benefit of people and will satisfy other people, but is not feeling satisfied. Here, one of the things I was thinking is if feeling satisfied is something which is very core, essential, personal, and practical for us, which means that so there can be million things out there in the world which can intellectually prove that this is correct, this is wrong. But whether we feel satisfied or don't feel satisfied, that we know in the core of our hearts. Like Prabhupada gives the example of a hungry man. His hunger got he felt satisfied by eating the food that he can know. It's not that somebody will come and intellectually convince him that now he is not no more hungry and that will work for him. So that is a very important thing here. But there are ifs and buts here also. For example, if somebody is very in a different kind of state, he may not be able to understand what is satisfaction, and he may take gratification as a satisfaction. But satisfaction is something that comes from within. And then we have like Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells that there are people who about knowledge and devotion. There are some devotees who don't have knowledge, they have devotion. 9th chapter, Krishna says. So even you may not have philosophical understanding and things like that. There are many devotees we see in our movement also who have very deep devotion, although they may not have ability to go out and convince people intellectually about something. But that satisfaction, that devotion which is core to them is not something that comes from an intellectual platform. It comes at a deeper platform. And that is what Vyasdev was not feeling satisfied internally. And then we come to the verse 27 where being dissatisfied at heart, what he did, he began to reflect because he knew the essence of religion. So this verse particularly I found very relevant because especially as Grihasthas, we go through a lot of stages in our lives where we don't feel satisfied. But what do we do next? Many times we feel that we are not feeling satisfied because of our failures or achievements in different places. For example, whatever self gratification or whatever recreational activity sometimes we do. Sometimes we have work and work-life balance we try to do. For example, now I'm on a vacation, so sometimes we come on a vacation and not everything will be good. So we feel that we are not feeling satisfied because of these situations, and we try to manage these kind of situations. Sometimes we tend to become angry also that why this is not working. And like my personal experience, many times inside the family we have arguments, and I tell and I sometimes it comes out as a blaming also. I tell my wife, because you're not doing this, that might be leading to I'm not feeling happy and things like that. And we tend to forget the core. So the qualification of Vyasdev here is he knew the essence of religion, and his thought process and his contemplation was in a right direction. That helped him, as we see that he himself comes to the conclusion. So this is a very great qualification here. And as Prabhupada also writes, the search satisfaction of heart to be searched beyond matter, and most of the times we forget this and we keep searching it inside the matter itself. Up to 1 minute, I'll put in mera charge battery.
Audible? Audible?
Yes, bro. Audible.
But he went away, huh? Saurav? He's there, no?
He had to like his charge, but mobile got discharged, so he went for charger.
Oh, okay. Whatever he's telling now, whatever you plan, that way it doesn't happen. You feel.
Really, bro, he was speaking from his heart very
Yeah.
nicely.
Sometimes we think, as see, we don't look for the reason. We look for a person whom to blame or situation whom to blame. We don't look for the actual reason. Yeah, yes, come back. Take it.
This laptop battery issue.
Yeah.
इसी होता है ना charge.
Where are you? Yes, bro. You can unmute and speak. You are mentioning that things don't go according to your way. That what happened now also.
Correct. It will always be there that things will not go according to us.
Yeah.
But what do we do in that situation becomes very important.
Yeah.
Because now, as we don't know the essence of religion, we tend to endeavor in a wrong direction, which doesn't lead to satisfaction anyways. And that leads to an increased frustration and anger. That's why things are not working, and it leads to blaming also many times. And because of multiple things, it is not working. We were here.
You're in 27th verse. 27th verse. And
Yes,
you
bro.
completed 27 and 28. Right?
Yeah. So here Vyasdev started thinking, and he is thinking in terms of different Vedic things that I have done this, I have done that. He has followed the laws, he has worshipped the Vedas, spiritual master, sacrifice. All the things he has done is very wonderful, and it should lead him to a. But as Prabhupada writes here, so here Vyasdev, one of his achievements, it tells that I have imported disciplication through the explanation of Mahabharata. So he tells writing Mahabharata as his achievement, which he tells he doesn't specifically mention that I have written this Purana, this Veda, or this specific Upanishad, but he mentions Mahabharata, which seems to give impression that Mahabharata is an important book that he has written. And Prabhupada writes very, in the purport that Mahabharata is more essential than original Vedas. So I was reflecting on this. I was trying to understand this. So some of the things that I can little bit relate to, and maybe throw some more light on it later, is uh, personally when we go out to preach, we find Mahabharat very relevant. For example, when we start discussing any story of Mahabharata or anything that happened, people immediately feel a connection. They get into conversation, and even without any uh, marketing or without any promotion advertisement team, Mahabharata still continues to be the most famous book, story, movie, whatever we can call it, in the entire world, where everybody knows about it, and becomes a very handy tool for preaching. Otherwise, in my personal life also, I found some of the characters of Mahabharata, like Yudhishthir Maharaj and other people, very practical. They are devotees. They are, Mahabharata war, for example, is a otherwise would have been a very materialistic activity if Krishna would not have been there, a battle for a throne and things like that. It's a political thing. But because of Krishna being involved and because of multiple reasons, devotees being involved, it has become a very transcendental spiritual thing that we are reading about it still today. So, uh, about couple of things like Yukta Vairagya principles and all. Sometimes I personally find stories of Pandavas very inspiring. So Mahabharata, uh, uh, Prabhupada writes here, is more essential than original Vedas, and surely we can see its practical utility at many times. So he writes Mahabharata, explanation of Mahabharata is also one of the achievements, still is feeling incomplete. And here, Prabhupada tells that purification of living being is a different thing, and ultimate achievement is a different thing. So here I was trying to understand it. Many times we tell that uh, means is the way, or the path and the means are the same. We tell things like that. Prove your mute.
Means is the end in our spiritual life. The chanting
Correct.
is the means and chanting is the end. Did you mean that?
Yes, Prabhuji. So yes, so that is applicable after we come to the ultimate process, which is bhakti or devotional service or chanting, as you mentioned. But before that, coming to a platform where one can get into a pure devotional thing, that is what, for example, we like Prabhupada had said, he uh, ultimate achievement is different. So when you come to the ultimate achievement platform, then you have that convenience or luxury that our means and the goals are the same. The chanting is the way and chanting is the end. But before that, we have to do a bit of endeavor to come to that platform. And what Vyasdev has written was more around that platform of bringing people to the path where they can come to a platform that they can take up devotional service. So that what has been his focus, and focusing on that, Prabhupada says he seems to have lost the clue of the ultimate thing. And we see here in verse 31, and this is a most important verse I felt here, because here Vyasdev himself, before Narad Muni is coming, he himself is telling that this may be because I did not specifically point out a devotional service to the Lord, which is dear to both perfect beings and infallible Lord. Narad Muni will come and tell him the same thing. But this is what Vyasdev came to conclusion on his own. And this shows his greatness, his qualification, and all the endeavors he has done previously is leading him towards the right path, right conclusion. Prabhupada writes that this defect was felt by him when Narad Muni, his spiritual master, reached him. So here also, Puri, I have a couple of questions that felt by him, he felt himself after Narad Muni reached him, or it is Narad Muni guided him, or how did it happen? But here,
Prabhupada mentions it is described as follows. In the next verse, it is described.
right.
How when Narada came, then he actually felt this what you call this incompleteness, or not incompleteness, found the reason for it.
So here, one of the points I was thinking, Puji, which you can tell whether it is correct or not correct, but I was thinking of in Mahabharata, multiple times I have seen Yudhishthir Maharaj tells this, that I am feeling that this is correct, and because I am spiritually trained, what I am feeling will not be wrong. For example, when Draupadi was getting married to 5 brothers together, So normally
time,
it is
yes.
not allowed by Shastras, but he tells that because I'm spiritually trained and my mind never gets a wrong thought, it is.
Actually, before that, he said that Kunti Maharani always does welfare for her children. So what Kunti Maharani spoke as a mother, and that is true. And then he adds this point also, that I can never think something wrong. No, adharmic aspect cannot cross my mind. So when this proposal, when Kunti gave, I did not see it as a wrong proposal. It is a proper.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Yes, yeah.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. So Vyasdev comes that time, and then he uh, he mentions to her that your previous life you had prayed to Lord Shiva for having having a husband, desired a husband 5 times, and like that the whole history is spoken about her. So Kunti Maharani statements, who always considers the welfare of her children, and Yudhishthira Maharaj, who always never thinks anything wrong. He always, any thought which crosses mind was about dharma. And third is the history which Vyasdev speaks about, past life of Draupadi. After that, all get convinced and get. So your point is what? Your question is your question, or you want to make?
My point here is कि Vyasdev, like this is one instance. Apart from that, also like Vyasdev, he is coming to conclusion. So the Yusirman, for example, he trusts his conclusions because it tells that my mind has been trained in a proper spiritual way. So Vyasdev is also similarly coming to a conclusion, and here also the Guru is coming, Narad Muni is coming, is validating and acting on it. So that I was trying to relate at similar situations, because he also has properly been trained in a spiritual thing. He has
Yes,
a lot of.
yes. Therefore,
So
he's
this,
coming to conclude. Yes, correct. He knew the religion. He knew the codes of religion. That's what you mentioned, first point. And he has done everything in disciplinary way. So all these add up to matlab he is going in a right analysis. His analysis is going in right direction, and is coming to a conclusions also which are apart. But he has to confirm it. He has to get the authenticate or confirm it. That is very important. And that confirmation happens when Narada arrives.
yes, here in this purport, Prabhupada is talking about monists. So people who are not devotees, although they may be in renounced order or they might be spiritualists, Prabhupada primarily tells that this is the difference. Matlab, this satisfaction of the, for example, Srimad Bhagavatam is filled with the pastimes, personal pastimes of the Lord. This is the difference between the monists and the devotees. So this satisfaction will be felt unless one become this dissatisfaction will be felt by people unless they become proper devotees of the Lord. So unless transcendental activities of Lord are not sufficiently described or explained, they'll keep feeling this. So this deep satisfaction, as we know, we have multiple verses in Bhagavatam that we have seen in previous classes of Yen Atma Suprasidati verses, where that Suprasidati will happen only if we get into personal pastimes of the Lord. Without that, things will be void, and we keep feeling void in our hearts as well. And this is the last verse of the chapter where Vyasdev received Narad Muni properly, and Prabhupada talks about Acharya, that Narad Muni is coming and he himself is qualified because he has a guru who is Brahma, who is qualified because he has a guru who is Krishna himself. So
Done?
that is it. Nice.
Thank you very much. You've done it in a discussion form. I'm very happy. Sometimes you just like Priya Swarupa was mentioning, you spoke from your heart. He's able to immediately relate with it. So I'm very happy that I was thinking when you will be speaking that Kaina. Somehow I came to know that yesterday only that you are. And Kamaraj Prabhu, you ensure that every devotee get an opportunity from both in station and out station. Who are willing to, like same way, at least once, and then it can be repeated. Whatever. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So I will. You can stop
Sure,
the share.
Prabhu.
You can stop the sharing, Prabhu. Or you keep the screen share. Yes, Prabhu. You go to the verse number 23. Saurabh. Very good. Verse number 24. Actually, I thought Sukadeva Goswami is going to appear. But here I think before Sukadeva Goswami, Narada is appearing. I mean, for Vyasdev, this entire episode is about Vyasadev only. Okay. Verse number 20. Little keep it bigger. Okay. Take it. Put the verse. Go to the verse. Yeah. Dayeva Veda Durumedhair
Eva Veda Durumade
Dharyante Purushair Yatha
Dharyante Purusharyatha
Evam Chakara Bhagavan
Evam Chakara Bhagwan
Vyasa Kripanavatsala.
Vyasa Kripanavatsala.
Yeah. Please read.
The great sage Vyasdev, who was very kind to the ignorant masses, edited the Vedas so they might be assimilated by less intellectual men.
So, the purpose of Vyasadev to edit the one Veda into 4 Vedas. Initially, there was Yajur Veda. All of you should know this very important principle. Initially, there was Yajur Veda, in which all the yagnic sacrifices are performed. Because till Treta Yuga, the sacrifices are given a lot of importance, Vedic sacrifices. And in the sacrifice only, there is a recitation of mantras and everything. And through that, people is to realize the importance of doing that sacrifice for pleasure of Lord. In that way, they used to understand the entire philosophy also. However, in the Kali Yuga, considering because Vyasdev appeared in the third section of, that means the beginning of Kali Yuga and ending of Treta Yuga. Treta Yuga. Sorry, Dwapar Yuga. So Dwapar Yuga and Kali Yuga, in that junction appeared Vyasdev. So when Vyasdev appeared, because that time till all sacrifices are learned from the Guru and they performed, it was in a Shruti form. Mantras are heard like that. So then what happened? He wanted to compile it. And he felt this one Veda, Yajur Veda, should be divided. So in the Yajur Veda, that time all the sections are there. The recitations. Then he brought the recitation in the Sama Veda. Like that, he divided the sections. But after dividing these 4 sections, he felt Kali Yuga, maximum people are less intelligent. Matlab, less intelligent, matlab, their intellectual, spiritual acumen is very less. They can't grasp, or they may not have interest. So many rituals. For example, I do a lot of Vedic yagnas here in Calcutta and other places. So I see that type of interest I show or I get into it when I start inspiring the people. the people to sit down and participate in it. The patience is not there. People are impatient. They can't sit for more than half an hour also, and they don't understand. I try to explain them, but they hear as if why is wasting time in explaining? Just complete the yajna and go, push off. So people don't have that acumen by which they're eager to know, how these facts and things. Therefore, that's how he was concerned. So his concern for Kali Yuga people took a very prominent aspect. He divided for the benefit of foolish people only. Intellectual people are taking the benefit of the Yajur Veda that time, but he divided the Vedas for the foolish and ignorant. Those who are motivated by passion and ignorance. They are either very active in material activities, self gratification, or they are reserved in terms of spiritual understandings, or ignorant. So, and therefore, till then, Brahmanas took the prominent role, and they used to feel we are whole and soul. Others are not interested, or even if they're interested, they can't understand much. Therefore, the Brahmanas started taking the monopoly. As Prabhupada mentioned, monopoly matlab mera hai abhi. ये वेदों का जो चीज है, people in terms of animal life only, as they say, the animal they saw. So they could not see it. So he was concerned about those people. Just like we see Prabhupada, he was trying to preach in India. But while preaching in India, he felt actually the Indians are dharmic, cultured, and the people may take seriously the Krishna consciousness. That way he endeavored. But his spiritual master, way back in 1922 only, desired that this preaching movement should be for the people who are very patita, fallen. And those fallen people, it should be addressed. Because when it's addressed to the fallen people, then everyone else can take also benefited. But if you address only a cultured people, then they also may not take seriously, and they may not understand the sweetness of this process. So he was then targeted his audience as Americans, who at that time were culturally had no base. In fact, Prabhupada used to mention that civilization means there should be some culture. There's no culture there. So American civilization, this word has no meaning. There is no culture. So he was addressing to the very low people. So in this way, what he did, Prabhupada, he followed in the line of Vyasdev. And that is the reason Vyasadev's concern for the less intellectual people has taken a form in the next verse. So let us go to the next verse. Haribol, go to the next verse. So because Brahmanas were holding the monopoly of the Vedas, even after 4 Vedas are divided, still Brahmanas will fight. Okay, I want that this way, this monopoly is with us only. Others don't need to understand. Arey Baba, the Veda is the word of the God, and word of God is for everyone. Let it be manifested and relevant. It should be relevant. It should be understandable, and people are able to keep in practice. And for that sake, Vyasadeva has compiled Mahabharata, which he considered more important than these 4 Vedas. Yes, he took the essence of the 4 Vedas and only compiled the Mahabharata. And Mahabharata is not just a book. It is actually the compilation which is done based on his own personal realizations also. Because he was living in the Mahabharata as one of the prominent personality, Vyasadeva. You see in the Mahabharata, the living personality. He compiled Vedas and he is living a life. In his life, he saw the Vedas taking a practical form. And that's how the Mahabharata came into picture. However, he wanted to make it relevant. To make it relevant, he ensured a lot of the Mahabharata exciting things are also detailedly explained. There are total, I think, 18 parvas. the Mahabharata. So in that, more than 10 parvas speak on Kurukshetra war only. In the first 2 parvas, the entire Mahabharata history, how they took birth, everything is completed. And later on, that how Pandavas are being exiled. So in this way, he highlighted on those episodes in the Mahabharata where exciting things are explained about politics, about the way of cheating. In this way, people will find interest in that. And then the character of Krishna is also in between is being introduced. And on the Pandav Nijjal Ekadashi, how many of you were there when we are reading the Mahabharata section? I think some of you were there in the Pandav Nijjal Ekadashi in the evening, reading Mahabharata. We read the section of the Draupadi Vastraharan, or Draupadi in the Kuru Sabha. If you see in that entire reading section, what we did of Mahabharata, Krishna's character is a side character. Krishna's character is not the main character there. The hero of that entire section is, as per the Mahabharata description, what we see is that the hero of that entire country, sometimes Duryodhana also glorified. Hare Duryodhana also thinking very nicely, amazing Hari Bol karke kuch log bol rahe the. And sometimes Yudhishthira is glorified, sometimes Bhishma is glorified. And then when nobody came to help, that time Krishna came and just invisible. Hare Krishna. Actually, somehow here, internet is very frustrating. Am I audible? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Puji, now you're not.
audible.
What are you discussing? Till where you heard?
The Draupadi Chirhara Krishna was a side character. Sometimes he
Yeah,
wasn't.
he is a side character. That's how the Mahabharata is being brought into picture. And this Vyasadeva could not sense it. He was concerned for the people more than bringing pure devotional aspects. Are you understanding? Sometimes we begin our preaching like that only. We should begin to be concerned for the people. Make presentation, make yourself available, relevant to people. Maybe you need to spend time with them and help them solve their problems. But unfortunately, if that preaching continues like that only, neither the person will be satisfied nor you will be satisfied. There should be a gradually bringing them to a platform where they can take up the pure devotional aspects. However, this is the beginning preaching of Vyasadeva for the Kali Yuga people, where he was concerned to address every one of them and get their attention. And therefore, what he does, he compiled Srimad Mahabharata. Yeah, please recite the verse. Anyone else volunteer to recite the verse? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Rajiv Prabhu. And then Chandrasekhar Prabhu, next verse, okay? Stri Shudra Dvija Bandhunam
Stri Sudra Dvija Bandhunam
Trayina Shruti Gochara
Traina Sruti Gochara
Karma Shreyasi Mudhanam
Karma Sreya Shri Mudhanam
Shreye Evam Bhavediha
Shreya Ivam Bhavediha
Iti Bharatam Akhyanam
Iti Bharatam Akhyanam
Kripaya Munina Kritam.
Kripaya Munina Kritam.
Stri Sudra Dvibandhunam. Yeah, please read the translation.
Out of compassion, the great sage thought just give me 1 minute. Out of compassion, the great sage thought it wise that this would enable men to achieve the ultimate goal of life. Thus, he compiled the great historical narration called the Mahabharata for women, laborers, and friends of the twice born.
Yeah. So, who are those unqualified people whom he was concerned for? That is what elaborately explained in this particular verse. Stri, Shudra, and Dvija Bandhuna. Okay. We will see who are these three people, who all come. When it comes to Stri, so many times people misunderstand, and especially those who are, what you call them? Those who speak about the women rights. Yeah, what the specific term is
Feminist.
coined.
Feminist.
Feminist. Who speak about the feminist. Feminist, I think feminist or feminist, yeah. Feminist, yeah. So people start considering the Vedas, are excluding the women and considering them less intelligent and things. But here, the Stri actually means Prakriti. Prakriti means every one of us have that Stri Bhava. By nature, the Jiva's natural position is to be a Prakriti, subordination under the Lord. Okay. Everyone is feminine by nature. But problem when they come to this material world is that both the feminine Jiva, when he comes to this material world, he wants to be masculine, he wants to be Purusha, he wants to enjoy. Whether he's taking a body of a man or a body of a woman, both of them are behaving like a Purusha. Therefore, in the scriptures, when it mentioned the Jiva is trying to be Purusha, that means even the woman, even the Jiva in the woman body is trying to be a Purusha, enjoyer. And that's why we see in the material world, there is a lot of incompatibility. Because both man and woman, irrespective of what gender they may be, they are trying to be in a Purusha aspect. But they want to be enjoyer, they want to be controller. Nobody wants to retain their original nature of being a feminine. That means being under subordination, trying to live life for the sake of the pleasure of the Lord. That aspect they left. And what happens is because a person, a Jiva occupies a specific body, and because of body, certain psychology also there. So that psychology, if according to the body and the psychology, if a Jiva accept that psychology, is well and good. They can live a life in this material world with Dharma, the Kama, Moksha properly. But however, what happens is the Purusha desire, the desire to be Purusha is very prominent, and that makes the Jiva not aligned with the psychological nature of that body in which he is. In which he is there. If it is a feminine, naturally that type of subordination is a natural thing for that particular bodily existence. But they feel no, Purusha, I want to be also be controller. I also want to enjoy. I want to enjoy by taking the enjoyment, not giving enjoyment. So that type of tendencies come very prominently. I think Saurabh Prabhu, your Amazon is open now. Your Pixel is opening. That is what screen is showing there. Saurabh Prabhu?
Yes, Puji.
Yeah. Your screen is changed from Bhagavatam to Amazon. The imaging Bhagavatam was turned to Amazon.com. So, so the less intelligent here, they are called less intelligent because the Jiva, irrespective of which body he is in, instead of being a Stri, he wants to be Purusha. Therefore, he is called less intelligent. Stri means all Jivas who are going against their natural inclination to be a feminine in relation, in subordination to the Lord. And those who want to be Purusha, all are considered less intelligent. And Kali Yuga, maximum people are like that. Kali Yuga, they're so conditioned with the desire to enjoy, that independent of Krishna very prominently, they only remain, they only get filtered out in Kali Yuga. So therefore they call it Stri. And Shudra means not a person born in a certain caste. It said that आपका कौन सा no nowadays ना devotees also confused है प्रभु जी शादी के लिए अपना कुल का होना चाहिए. Yes, अपना कुल का होना मतलब आप कल्चर के हिसाब से देख सकते हैं. But if culturally they are able to adjust and go ahead, then they should not see the caste. But nowadays the caste aspect has taken a very prominent role. And people think that the caste birth by the particular caste is considered very glorious. Actually, they may not live that type of life also. They may live a very heinous type of life, but they feel very proud of their caste. But here, Shudra, when Bhagavatam, Vyasdev is mentioning Sudra, or here Sutta Goswami is mentioning Shudra. This Shudra is not a person born in a certain caste. It's about Guna Karma. Guna and Karma ke hisab se everyone is a Shudra. By quality, the Kali Yuga people maximum are like people who don't want to take any risks. They want to live a life where they want to serve someone and get their remuneration, get their salaries. Risk. Nobody is thinking about society welfare. They are thinking about welfare to my own stomach, my own belly. That is the guna of a Shudra. Shudra is not concerned about the society. Like a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, they are not concerned about the society. They are concerned about their own family, maybe they themselves. Okay. Nowadays, they forget about the family also. They think about themselves only. They think about their own, their own mind and their own belly. That's all. And they say, don't mind. Don't keep your mind in. Don't mind me. Or they don't allow the people to interfere with their aspects. This is the Sudra by quality. Sudra by karma. We see that maximum Kali Yuga people by activities, you see, they are doing not more than eating, sleeping, waiting, and defending. So Sudras, they do serve the other higher caste, but their main interest is unka khana ho raha hai kya, unka peena ho raha hai kya, sona. Therefore, only one samskara which the Sudras have, they don't have Garbhadan. They don't have that Annaprasana, Namkara, all these aspects are not there. They only one karma, one samskara which they are at least supposed to maintain. That is Vivaha samskara. And nowadays you see, even that Vivaha is also not denied. Living relationship is being emphasized. So what does it mean? Nowadays, even the Shudra by karma also not there, even lower than that. So it's very important to understand these words, women laborers, what Sutta Goswami mentioning, it is not just woman means those are in the woman body, they are women, no. And laborer means Shudra means not that who are born in Shudra caste. No. These are living in Kali Yuga people who are by karma and guna, they are Shudras. And Kali Yuga people who are less intelligent because women less intelligent because they, irrespective of what body they may be, male or female, they want to be enjoyer instead of being enjoyed position. That is one. And then third category of people is Vija Bandhu. Saurabh very nicely he mentioned that one. Vija proper writes in the purport that the first birth is not just coming out of the belly womb of mother. That is not the first birth. First birth means Garbhadhana. Actually, birth happens at the time of conception. The body may come out on a particular day. Therefore, sometimes birthday is considered the day on the time of conception from Vedic perspective. But it's very difficult to calculate that aspect. What time of conception में कब हुआ है? वो भी 3 महीने के बाद पता चलता है. 1 महीने के बाद लगता है कुछ तो हुआ है. 2 महीने का कंफ्यूजन रहते हैं. फिर तीसरा महीना में क्लैरिटी मिलता है. Then they tell okay, अभी गर्भवती है. So birth actually exact birth happens at the time of conception only, and that the conception should be as per the Garbhadhana. Garbhadhana in ISKCON, as per ISKCON standards, the Garbhadhana means the both husband and wife at least recommended to chant 50 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra before they endeavor for having conception. But not always conception is successful. Therefore, anytime they wanted to have a children, they must do this process of chanting 50 rounds. And then they try to go ahead with that and pray, because it's not in one's hand. So that is the general calculation, Prabhupada's recommendation. But in the scripture, there is a proper samskara which is done, in which the mind of the father should be very spiritually elevated. At least the mind of the father is expected to be spiritually elevated. And the mother's mood should be in the mood of facilitating the bringing of a soul who will be glory to the family, who will bring glory to the society, glory to the nation. That mood she will be having. It should more like a service mood. In this way, if these two moods are maintained by the husband and wife, then the children, that is called as first birth. And then the second birth, Dvija, second birth happens when actually he comes in touch with a spiritual master or a Shiksha Guru, where he receives the instructions that he is not his body, his soul. And then he starts rendering services at that platform. Okay, he has taken the second birth. We know one story, one mother and father, they had a child, and as soon as the child took birth, they observed that child is not having any life. They throw it in the river. That is the system. If the child is not having any life symptoms, they tried for a long time to get the child to cry and everything. Nothing happened. They realized that child is dead. So they, with a very heavy heart, they had to go to the banks of a river and throw the body. And then after, I think immediately after birth, after some time it happened. After certain years, the child is a very young boy. He died. And then when he died, they threw him in the river. Let Mother Ganga take him wherever it is. That body should not be burnt or buried. They're thrown in the river. Nowadays, I think they bury it instead of burning it. So when they throwed it, the body went on, and that time when sadhu was taking bath in the river, and praying to the Lord, "Oh Lord, I was being told that I should initiate disciples so that the bhakti movement could be spread ahead. So for that, I need a follower. That follower should follow first me, and then through him, I will be able to propagate the Krishna consciousness ahead." So while praying and dipping down, he said, whoever the person I will meet first, I will initiate him. So as soon as he got up from the river, he saw the dead body of that boy which is floating. Immediately, he felt, this is what Krishna desire. How will I? So he started, anyway, he took the dead body only of the boy. In the ears of the dead body, he spoke the mantra to initiate him. Immediately, the boy came into life. Somehow the soul came back, or whatever happened, it came back. He took second birth. And after he took second birth, immediately he was looking, who am I? All devious questions came into him. Who am I? From where I have come? So now the Guru also don't know from where he has come. He came floating. So he started mentioning to him that I think you might have died. Your parents and families have thrown you in the river. Now, when I initiated you, you took second birth. Immediately that boy was intelligent. Immediately took a step of surrendering to the Guru, giving his full life. After some time, the village people informed the parents, "Arey, aapki ladka wapas jinda ho gaya." So then all the parents came to that Gurukula, to the sadhu, and requested to return their son. Then immediately the son came front. He said, "Who all are of you? Your son is already dead. I have taken another birth here. I have taken another birth under the shelter of this Guru. He has spoken my identity. Who am I? And what is the purpose of my life?" He gave that purpose also. He gave me the goal also. Therefore, twice born means what? Second birth means those people who know who actually they are and who know actually what is the purpose of life, goal of life, and who actually get engaged under the instruction of the Guru in that particular lifestyle. Is it clear? So this is the three people whom is speaking here. And Dvija Bandhu is called a Dvija. It is called Dvija. Dvija matlab 2 times born. One from Garbhadana, one from Guru. But Bandhu means what? A relative. Dvija Bandhu ka relative. Dvija Bandhu means those who are twice born, but they are not acting on the platform of twice born. Can you imagine what type of category of people is referring to? He is referring to those people who have come into the process of Vedas, searching for Vedas, conclusion of Vedas, and started practicing a yoga, a particular bhakti yoga, or a karma yoga, or a jnana yoga, but they are actually not living that type of life. They are hypocritic. They are hypocritic. They are not behaving in that particular guna and karma as per the Dvija. The Dvija should be living a life grateful to the parents who gave them the first birth. How many of you express your gratitude to your parents on regular basis? It's very important, because the fact that you are able to sit here and appreciate the Bhagavatam and able to chant your rounds is because of your parents. Not only you, even I consider it like that. I feel very fortunate to have a parents who played a very crucial role in the beginning of my life to shape my gross body and shape my subtle body in such a way that I become very conducive for me to take up to the second birth. And when I received, how many of us are grateful to the spiritual masters who played a key role in bringing you to the understanding of who are you and what is the purpose of your life and how to engage in that particular life achievement is very important. However, even after all these things, if one remains hypocritic, that means he's only ritualistic. He's following the Vedas just for sake of following it. Maybe for need of money, need of appreciation, name, fame, he's doing it. But actually he's not living like that. He's just a relative. और relative मतलब बगल में घूम रहा है बस. बहुत लोग होते हैं. For them he has written because he felt that these are also hypocritic. They are not actually living. Kali Yuga maximum people are like that. Those in the name of spirituality, they say that they are following a lot of things, but actually they are Dvija Bandhu type. Not type one. So he is referring to these three types, and then for their benefit, he has written Mahabharata. So you see the priority or the main concern of Vyasdev was to benefit these three types of. Therefore, he wrote Mahabharata. Go to the next verse. We'll go a little fast here because these all are very crucial and simple verses. Go to the next verse. Saurabh. Hare Krishna. We see here how, even after compiling it, he did a good endeavor. See, it's important that you perform activities keeping one of the important factor is service for others, beneficial for others. Not always do things which you like to do where you want to take benefit. If that life is a simply selfish life, we should live a life of selflessness. Preaching is an opportunity where you can live life of selflessness. You have to think about others. You have to benefit for others. Sometimes you may have to just travel a lot for the sake of giving time to others. If you have to come out of your room of me and mine and go out for others, very important. And Vyasdev did a great endeavor and he compiled Mahabharata. All of you know how he compiled the Mahabharata with having Lord Ganesha as the person who's writing, and he started speaking the entire details. That's how the Mahabharata compiled. It took a lot of time. Well, he did a good endeavor. Still after compiling, and just like Vedas he gave to to his disciples to forward it. He even gave Mahabharata also and the Puranas to forward among his disciples and started preaching about it. But still he was not satisfied. So 25 and 26 are not immediate timeline. It's not that ये लिखने के बाद dissatisfied के बैठ गया. Let's like we get frustrated very soon, ना? Many of us. कुछ करते हैं and तुरंत frustration में चले जाते हैं. अरे कुछ हो नहीं रहा है. Not like that. आप करना तो सही से ढंग से 1, 2, 3 साल या 10 साल करिए. फिर think about dissatisfaction or satisfaction. अरे मैं कुछ कर रहा हूँ प्रभु तुरंत immediately, no? So what happens is we see that impatience takes a prominent role before dissatisfaction or dissatisfaction. The feeling of impatience is more prominent than actually getting the feeling of satisfaction. We don't reflect actually in that way. So one should do a long-term endeavor. Then actually you can value the feelings which are consistently coming to you. Okay. Sometimes feeling come of frustration or boring. Don't take them very seriously. Do an activity seriously, committedly for a long period. Then you analyze your feelings. That if some feeling is continuing for a long time, for years, then you may think of rectifying that aspect. Till then, you should go on with your services, service for others. Because the fact that to come out of your our selfish mode to selfless mode, that itself is very frustrating to the conditioned mind. So we get immediate frustrated than actually experiencing the feelings of the heart. But here Vyasdev had went through a lot of time. He compiled, he preached. And after that, what is feeling is what is mentioned here. Evam, somebody else would like to say, Chandrasekhar. You are there? Chandrasekhar, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Evam pravrittasya sada.
Evam pravrittasya sada.
Bhutanam shreyasi dvija.
Bhutanam shreyasi dvija.
Sarvatme kanapi yada.
Sarvatman kenapi yada.
Natusyat vidayam tata.
Natusya didhayam tata.
Yeah. Read the translation.
O twice born Brahmanas, still his mind was not satisfied, although he engaged himself in working for the total welfare of all people.
Yeah. Thank you, Chandrasekhar. I think Chandrasekhar was also doing a welfare to the entire school. What is that school name?
Yes, Prabhuji, there was one school named as a regional public school.
Okay,
So I had started, Prabhuji, just before 2 days ago, I have started 1 hour spiritual class from evening 5 to 6. There's a many hostelers are there. So spiritual, I have talked with the principal now. He has allowed me to discuss on spiritual thoughts. So good thing is that he's also paying for that. I'm giving 30 minutes to him to this school. He's paying also. That is good.
Yeah. So do you speak from any particular book or how you do?
Prabhuji, actually, I'm starting. Firstly, I'm started here from the DYS. Who we are. What is the difference between animal and human? Athato Brahma Jigyasa, who is called God, right now. Today I'm starting from the DYS, and after that I will go to the Bhagavad Gita. I will start Bhagavad Gita very soon.
Yeah. So there is if you want some reference, we have some books compiled by Shubha Vilas Prabhu. He is a very amazing personality who wrote books on Ramayana. He has compiled books as value education for children from class standard 1 to standard 10. So if you find, you can even study that and try to see you can apply them there.
Sure, Prabhuji.
You can contact me or you can contact our Chetan Prabhu. Chetan Agarwal is there. I will give a number to you. He can tell you the details of it. or we may send a copy to you. Standard 5 you are teaching, no? You
No,
may
it's,
send that person.
no, students from class 4 to 12 are there.
Okay.
All are gathered and in one time I am telling all.
Those books are compiled in such a way that the devotees can present it in schools. It is based on Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, and some life skills for children. So it is very nice. You can apply that.
Sure, Prabhuji, I will definitely read this and I will go according to your whatever you have guided me. I will follow all this.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, you can mute yourself. So we see, even after working for the welfare of all people, that means he worked. ये नहीं कि वो काम नहीं किया, वो लिख के फिर बैठ गया रोने लगा, नहीं, वो लिख के कंपाइल करवा के प्रिंट करके पब्लिश करके डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करके और उस महाभारत को लेके सेमिनार्स भी लिया उन्होंने, प्रचार भी किया है लोग को. आफ्टर दैट ऑल्सो he saw people are taking benefit of it. महाभारत बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है, सब लोग सुन रहे हैं, बहुत अप्रिशिएट कर रहे हैं, but within his heart, see, sometimes when you don't get success, you immediately reflect to your frustrations, which is just bowed on the top. And when you get success, you hardly feel for you hardly concern about the feelings of your heart. Generally, you see, you go to the external perspective. That's what Saurabh was mentioning. Sometimes when we make plans where sometimes your failure, immediately you see the external reasons, not going to the core of the heart. You look for some Hare Krishna. Again it gone. Till where are we discussing? Haribol? Hare Krishna? Haribol? Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji, your sound is coming clear, Prabhuji.
So, when you get failure, we look for someone or something to point at. And when we get success, our head goes so above that we hardly care for our feelings. So feelings we keep aside. But here you see Vyasdev, Mahabharata say many people are taking benefit. Many Sudra type people, Stree type people, and Vijabandhu type of people, they all are taking benefit of it. But however, he was not satisfied. He reflected to the core of. This is the very important aspect. We should see, yes, over a period, not every time. Every time you do, now you become crazy. Every time your heart mein kya feeling hai, then you become a senti person. Understand senti? Itna nahi karna hai. But aapko, when you go for yatras or when you hear personally from your spiritual master during a lecture, which happens in yatras only, or at times we may have to contemplate from the heart perspective and see, am I doing right in my life? Am I going wrong somewhere? Am I compromising some things? Every day you don't have to do it. Otherwise, it will be very frustrating to you. Because when you dig your heart, you only see negativity a lot. So better not dig it the heart every day. Try to release bhakti principles and fill your heart with those things. Dig heart at certain times only in life. At that time, you have to honestly dig your heart. And that's what Vyasdev is doing. He's honestly digging his heart now. He has sufficiently explored in preaching. And now he's digging his heart. He's a genuine man. He's, as a literary incarnation, he's showing a lesson that even when you're successful with many, many thousands of disciples, having amazing ashram setup, organization which is spreading around, People are appreciating you as the founder Acharya. Here, Vyasdev is the founder Acharya. Still, he started contemplating. He is looking for someone's help in his life. This is what we see here. Go to the next verse. Who would like to recite? Please unmute anyone. Yeah, Priya Swarup. Naitri Prasidat Hridaya
Naiti prasiddha dhridaya
Saraswatyastate Suchau
saraswatyastate suchau
Vitarkayan Viviktasta
vitarkayan viviktasya
Idam Chovacha Dharmaved.
idam chovacha dharmavit.
Please read the translation.
Thus the sage, being dissatisfied at heart, at once began to reflect, because he knew the essence of religion, and he said within himself.
So Saurabh very nicely explained on this. Because he knew the religion, therefore his analysis was going in right direction. Another point which I was mentioning earlier also, the dissatisfaction of the heart is not everyday frustrations. Okay, you should not see that way. Dissatisfaction of heart is a long aspect, long-term aspect which is happening with you. And if you are feeling, Prabhu, from last 1 year I'm observing, I'm not feeling satisfied. Okay, then it's a point for discussion. Prabhu, I started this service, or I started my new life with my wife, or I started my new career. I'm getting frustrated. Next day only you call frustrating, Prabhu. I want to change it. And sometimes people don't ask only, they just change one place to one place, like this, they go here, Prabhu, इधर जम नहीं रहे, उधर जम नहीं रहे, किधर भी जम नहीं रहे. Actually आप खुद को accept नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. Therefore you feel किधर भी जम नहीं रहे. First accept your situation, accept what you are. Then only you will able to see whether you can do something in a particular situation. Most of the times we don't reflect within. We start what you call magnify, or what you call from outside situation or the outside personality. We try to impose on a particular personality and try to live life like that. We should more reflect within and live life like that. So he began to reflect at his dissatisfaction, which was a long-term thing. Okay, from long term, after working hard, successfully endeavoring, and with all challenges which he had in his compilation of Mahabharata and things, that is the time where he started feeling dissatisfied consistently, and there he reflected. So you see, at once began to reflect. That means what? As soon as he felt that dissatisfaction is going on a long time, he might have observed in his dealings with his disciples in the ashram, that type of dissatisfaction is taking a prominent role in life. He's trying to go for yatras. I'm just giving, I'm explorating, not exaggerating, but I'm just giving an extrapolation. Going for yatras, but still you are not satisfied. You are going and taking, trying to take to other devotional practices, but not satisfying. You're changing your career to find little change. Maybe it will help. You are unsatisfied. You're changing the place, still not satisfied. So you're thinking what to be done. So if that is consistently going on like that, then what he did, he began to reflect. He began to reflect in a right direction. As what Saurabh mentioned. Go to the next verse. 28 to 29. Who would like to recite these two verses? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Roshni Mandish. Dhritabhratena hi maya
Dhritabhratena hi maya
Chandamshi Guravoghnaya
Chandamsi Guruvognya
Manita Nirvyalikena
Manita Nirvalikena
Grihitam Chanushasanam.
Grihitam Chanusasanam.
Yeah, Raunak is sitting there or is busy?
Yes, Prabhuji. He is there.
There, na? Okay. Tell him to recite the next verse. Bharata Vyapadeshena.
Bharata Vyapadesena.
Is he not there? No, no?
Hindi.
Nahi hai? Okay. Iyamnayatasya pradarshita.
He amnyatasa pradashyata.
Drishyate yatra dharmadhi.
Drishyate yatra dharmadi.
Stri Shudradibhiryapyuta.
Stri Sutriya Bhiji Adhivir Apyata.
Read the translation.
I have under strict disciplinary vows under unpretentiously worshipped the Vedas, the spiritual masters, and the altar of sacrifice. I have also abided by the ruling and have shown the import of display succession through the explanation of the Mahabharata, by which even women, Sudras, and other friends of the twist bond can see the path of religion.
Yeah. So, a very amazing verse. This is called as contemplation. A sincere devotee, what he does, he honestly contemplates about his present situation. That's what Vyasdev is doing. And when honestly contemplating, he mentioned, first, this is the way the contemplation process should go on. He mentioned what all things he has done as per sacrifices. What he did disciplinary vows, worshipped the Vedas, and he did sacrifices, worshipped the Guru. He did. All the spiritual sadhanas, whatever he did, regular basis, he started listing them down. Under strict disciplinary vows, he did everything. And then what he did after sadhana, he also mentioned what all the services he has done. He has done the service of giving Mahabharata. He credited his main service to be his Mahabharata compilation than the Vedas, because he felt that is more relevant for the Kali Yuga people, by which they can see the path. Therefore, in the contemplation, when you are feeling dissatisfied, first write down what are your strengths in the perspective of sadhana and also seva. First write down all those things. Okay, what you are very good at and from sadhana perspective, which you did. And this is not 1 year back or 2 years back. From the day you came in Krishna consciousness, or from the time you started sensing your life as a child, growing in the school, you're good at certain things. You're good at certain way of nature. You like certain atmosphere. You start writing all the good things as per your personal life, your sadhana, and also service. What type of career I was good at, job I was good at, what type of work style I was good at. This is, and what type of services I was good at. This is the way we contemplate. But it has to be done sincerely and honestly. Because it's not to show someone and get some award. It is, you have to show to Guru to get a prescription. You have to write your problem very clearly. But before writing a problem, tell what are your strengths. That's what he spoke the strengths here. Yeah, go to the next verse. Here he spoke about his sadhana and also accomplishments. You understand? His sadhana aspects he mentioned here and his accomplishments. But it seems from Vyasdev's point that both are not sufficient. His disciplinary vows, strictness, worshipping of Vedas, and writing perfect books which will help them, that is not sufficient in one's life to be satisfied. That means what? Accomplishment is a different thing and satisfaction is a different thing. If any one of us feel by accomplishments only I'll find satisfaction, that is a wrong thing. satisfaction as a different. In the Vedas, in one of the Puranic stories, it mentioned a man is walking in a forest, and the forest is filled with a lot of thorny bushes around, but he's looking for beautiful roses, rose garden which is there in the forest, in the middle of the forest. So while walking, what he wore gun boots. You know gun boots, very lamba boot rehte, knee tak rehte wo. And after wearing them, he could happily walk through that forest and without any pain, because he's very confident. When I wore this boot, no thorn can enter into my feet. And he went and plucked up the flowers, roses, which he had wanted to take. Okay, life is also like that forest, with maximum possibility of thorny bushes expected on your way, from the sides also, from the back also, from front also. But what you need to wear the boot, that boot is called satisfaction. When you have that heartfelt satisfaction, then you can actually look for the essence of your life. You will not be diverted. You will not be misdirected in life because of your pity experiences which you go through in life. If you wear the boot of satisfaction, you can actually go on a long journey in that forest and try to pluck all the beautiful flowers of which give joy to your life. That could be possible. But you need to wear the boot in the beginning only, not that in the end you wear it. Vyasdev, through his example, is giving as a very important aspect how to find satisfaction on a regular basis. Whether you accomplish in life or not, keep it aside. First, focus on finding satisfaction in life. Satisfaction in terms of sadhana, satisfaction in terms of your seva, satisfaction in terms of your prescribed duties, that all are connected to one point, that is satisfaction of our heart. And that satisfaction of the heart is what Vyasdev is trying to analyze and understand what is the problem. He is going more deeper. The man who has given his life for uplifting the people's consciousness and do their welfare, he felt the need to contemplate within, because as a author, as a founder acharya, as a guru, if he is not satisfied, how can he expect satisfaction from his people? So it's a very serious responsibility. Most of you are in a role as a leader of the family. You are a pati. Pati means the leader, protector, pita. That way you are playing different roles you're playing. Or you may be leading a school as a teacher, or going to be a new school to be a teacher or something like that. So wherever you are playing a particular role as that. So it's important that we be satisfied in life first before giving satisfaction to others. And that's what we see here. Vyasdev is contemplating on it. Yeah. Go to the verse number 30. Yeah. Who would like to recite?
Prabhuji, I will do.
Sauti Mata. Tatapi batame dhayo.
Tathapi batame dhayo.
Hi atma chaivatmana vibhu.
Hi atma chaivatmana vibhu.
Asampanna iva bhati.
Asampanna eva bhati.
Brahma varchasya sattamaha.
Brahma varchasya sattama.
Read the translation.
I am feeling incomplete, though I myself am fully equipped with everything required by the Vedas.
So his contemplation is that, yes, I am fully equipped with everything required by the Vedas. What means what? What is required by the Vedas? Vedas expect for achieving the goal, you should be like this, like this. Whatever he wrote, basically. He wrote, these are the requirements. And all those requirements which he wrote in the book, he has everything. But still he is not finding satisfaction. You should be like this. If you want to be happy, be like this. Mahabharata says, okay, for Yudhishthira Maharaj to be happy, he had to do this thing. Everything. Whatever mentioned is equipped with it. But still he was not satisfied at heart. I am finding incompleteness. The Prabhupada writes, incompleteness is felt because of not glorifying the complete whole. The incomplete, I think the purport, in this only it comes, the purport. You see, go down. Is there a purport to it? No. Incompleteness in one's life is felt because of not serving the complete whole. If you don't serve the complete whole purely, that's not possible. You will not find that satisfaction. So here, that is a very important point which is coming out. Incompleteness. He has given a good packaging. अच्छा बढ़िया packaging किया था पूरा for the welfare of the people, society. And he felt वो packaging में इतना बढ़िया मैंने अपना सोच विचार जो भी किया, इतना वेदों का लिखा, कंपाइल किया, महाभारत लिखा,
Bro, your sound is not coming, bro.
yeah, now it will come. Is it coming now?
Yes, bro.
Yeah. So he had the packaging. He gave a good packaging, but in the package there is no substance. There is nothing in that. In fact, he felt little is there. मान लिया आपको एक कोई गिफ्ट पैक दिया, मेरे को कोई इधर गिफ्ट पैक दिया, इट वाज ए टी सेट, टी पीने का सेट होता है ना, मेरे को दिया. अभी ये टी सेट ना, अभी पैकेजिंग तो बढ़िया है, बट वो सब्सटेंस मेरे लिए नहीं है. वो मुझे लगता है कि रिलेवेंट लगता है. मैं टी सेट को क्या रखूंगा मेरे रूम पे, किसको रिलेवेंट होगा वो. So there might be some substance, but that was not relevant, which relevant to the heart. People are happy with the Mahabharata, but they are also not satisfied because he's counseling them, is regularly taking classes for them, and is finding that people are still unhappy. They are with the same problems coming. Prabhu, ये problem है, माता जी ये problem है. So ऐसा ही problem लेके आ रहे हैं. मतलब वो लोग को सब्सटेंस तो दिया ही नहीं है. That's what Vyasdev felt. He felt incompleteness because he's seeing that incompleteness in others also. He's seeing that incompleteness within himself also. इतना कुछ देने के बाद भी लोग अरे ऐसा कैसे हो गया. So this is a very, very important point which he is trying to conclude. Why this feeling dissatisfied? Go to the next verse. So who will write to recite?
Bro, I can recite, bro.
Yeah, Somnath. Verse number 31. I think this is the last verse. No, this is the last but one verse, no? 31. Very important verse. Kimva Bhagavata Dharma
Kimbha Bhagavate Dharma
Na Prayena Nirupita
Na Prayena Nirupita
Priya Paramahamsanam
Priya Paramahamshanam
Evai Achyuta Priya.
Taeva Hi Achyuta Priya.
Yeah. He has come to the reason right now. What is the reason why he is feeling incompleteness? Because, please read.
This may be because I did not specifically point out the devotional service of the Lord, which is dear both to perfect beings and to the infallible Lord.
Yeah. So this is very amazing. See, when you are honest to yourself, na, Krishna reveals. When you are honest to yourself, na, Krishna reveals what is the actual problem. After living a life of disciplinary, following the instructions of the Guru, living a life of sacrifice for others, welfare of others. And if you find dissatisfaction when you contemplate honestly, na, Krishna will give the realization. And here you see Vyasdev is getting that realization. And this he has spoken it out. Very important. Sometimes we don't speak our realizations out. That is the most unfortunate thing we do. When you don't speak out your realizations out, what happens is after some time they get faded away. They get covered over in one corner of your heart. And other emotions take up very prominent, which you experience in this conditioned mental world. दुनिया में जो दुख सुख का जो अनुभूत होता है वो प्रोमिनेंटली ले लेता है. आपकी भक्ति का अनुभूति, रियलाइज भक्ति का साक्षात्कारों को जब तक आप बाहर नहीं बताएंगे, वो छुप के रह जाता है. We have to speak it out. Therefore, preaching is an amazing opportunity where you can share your realizations. Yes, in that realizations, you also share what you are feeling challenges with. You also get to share, what was the reason for those challenges. In this way, here is pointing out that he is not pointed out to devotional service. He pointed out to everything in Mahabharata. Krishna was taken as a side character only in entire Vedas. But Krishna, the essence of the Vedas, certain verses he wrote. Vedescha Saram Ahame Vedyo Vedanta. He wrote that. But that point, he never took it as this point is common for all the Vedas. He wrote in that Bhagavad Gita verse only like that. So, but actually, here Vyasdev felt that I have not pointed out very prominently in my commentaries, in my description of the Vedas. I took Krishna, as an ordinary man, as a side character. I don't know that he's going to be pan-India person, or pan-India, pan-universe, pan-Brahmanda, the pan-Brahmanda character. So, I've never considered him in that particular person. He sat and reflected. He reflected on many good points which he did. He reflected on all the sadhana he did. And then, because he honestly did it, Krishna revealed it. See in the purport, go down a little bit. This was felt for the normal condition of living in devotional service of the Lord. Unless one is fixed in the normal condition of service, neither the Lord nor living being can become fully satisfied. This defect was felt by him when Narada Muni, spiritual master, reached him. See, as I was telling now, this question I think Saurabh was asking. True. When you truly honestly contemplate, you see Krishna reveals. And Krishna reveals always through his representative Guru. And because the presence of Narada, Narada by that time only reached there. When honestly he was contemplating, Chaitya Guru was hearing everything. Chaitya Guru means super soul. And the Chaitya Guru, whatever he heard the concern, immediately this Chaitya Guru has conveyed it to the spiritual master of this person. And Narada came there. And Narada came to address Vyasdev only, without Vyasdev calling him. Who made this arrangement? Did Vyasdev called up Narada? No. In fact, Narada only came there. And this was the inspiration which Krishna gave. Krishna is revealing to Vyasadev when the presence of, as soon as Narada appeared there, his presence in that particular atmosphere has affected Vyasadev's heart, and that realization got manifested. Maybe I have not. It tells maybe. Now he wants a confirmation. That's how Narada appeared. This chapter is called as Appearance of Sri Narada. It's not about a physical, certainly physical also appeared, but before physically Guru appears, he appears first in the heart of a person who is honest to himself. You see, most of the times in our life also, when you're honestly contemplating and about improving yourself, you find Krishna sends his representatives. In many forms it can come to you. And that is a representative, it's a Guru representative. Is a spiritual master is only sending you that help. So we have to take it that way. Go down. 32. Who would like to recite? Who till now not yet recited?
Hare Krishna Guruji.
Yeah, Amidudev. Tassaivam kilam atmanam
Tasyevam kilam atmanam
manyamanasya kidyata
manyamanasya khidyata
krishnasya narado vyagat
Krishnasya narado vyagat
ashramam pragudarhitam.
ashramam prag udartam.
Yeah.
So translation is given by Prabhupada. As mentioned before, Narad reached the cottage of Krishna Dwapan Vyas on the bank of the Saraswati, just as Vyasdev was regretting his defects.
So Vyasadeva, after pointing out the defects, which defects is what the defect he found? I have not pointed out to devotional service to Krishna in none of the Vedas as a prominent point. Okay, my conclusive points like that he never gave in Vedas, in each chapter. And even Mahabharata also, Krishna was given, Krishna is the essence of all Vedas, his supreme personality, but he showed him as a side character. He did not show him as the main character of the. It is only by devotional commentaries of Acharyas we see Krishna as the main character. In the Draupadi Vastraharana, Krishna is the hero. In that story, that movie of Draupadi Vastraharana, Krishna is the hero and Draupadi is the heroine. It's like that. So you have to see that one. But that is only by devotional Acharyas commentaries we can see Mahabharata. Otherwise, Mahabharata, if you read normally, we may not come to that conclusion if you are not a devotee. So he found out his defects. Therefore, you see Narada, Vyasadeva from this particular story of serious contemplation gives two lessons. What is the first lesson? You need a guru, however elevated you may be. You need the help of a preceptor in life, however qualified and accomplished you may be. Because time and again, because of the conditioning nature of this material world, we are influenced by the material qualities of guna, passion, ignorance, that we feel despondent in life, just like Vyasadeva felt. But Vyasdev despondent is not because of passion, ignorance, because despondent he was not purely glorifying Lord. His despondence is a very high quality despondence. Our quality of despondence is more about मेरा eating नहीं हो रहा है, मेरा sleeping नहीं हो रहा है, मेरा mating नहीं हो रहा है, मेरा defending नहीं हो पा रहे सही से. That was despondency we have. But their despondence. Yeah. So all these years, what I am doing, am I doing devotional service properly? Is it okay? Am I progressed to any particular extent? This is called introspection. Similarly, you can do introspection in your life. You got married, for example, just this I'm giving for especially those devotees who are not. Take an introspect those who are married life for more than 5 years. Okay, till 5 years, whatever experiences you go through now, don't take them so seriously. Well, bad experiences. Good experiences, you make memories of it. Bad experiences, you don't take so seriously. At least 5 to 6 years after the childbirth. Okay. So, and after that, maybe you have to reflect, introspect about it. How is the life? Did I did something which I'm not supposed to do? Did I spoke something? Or did I do something? Should I do something about it, rectifying about it, introspecting? Introspection is always good. Like in companies also have a review. You do a review. Like that in life also we should do some review. Introspection. Okay? Personal review. Okay, not in public, private, in public meetings. You do honestly to yourself first. And you do honestly with yourself, then you can discuss with the people who are involved in it. If it is seva, then you can involve the people whom you are doing this seva with. If it is life partner, then you can involve the life partner after that, after doing personal introspection. You tell them opposite, you tell your partner also do the introspection. And both come sit and then do a review. क्या कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, क्या करना था, क्या नहीं कर पाया, क्या करना है अभी. So in this way, life also you can do that aspect. And also introspection in terms of your seva. In the seva, okay, मैंने क्या सेवा किया है अभी तक, क्या कर रहा हूँ अभी, क्या कर सकता हूँ. This is a very important. And whenever you do introspection in all these three levels of sadhana, personal life, personal sadhana, seva, and personal life, all these three aspects, then you see that the Krishna within will send a specific representative to help you out in the life for that particular person. Okay, it's not always that it is your spiritual preceptor or a guru coming directly or telling you. It may be coming. He can manifest in any form, in any particular way. Guru Tattva can manifest and help you in all those aspects. So therefore, you see Narada appeared there, reached the cottage. Krishna Dvaipan was on the banks of Saraswati, just as Vyasadeva was regretting his friends. So purport, we'll read the purport and conclude here. Okay. Please read the purport. Anyone else who had till now not spoken anything, who would like to do? Hare Krishna. Who has not spoken till now? I think Murari Gopal. You are there? It's a big purport or a small purport? There is one para only.
Hare Krishna was there?
You read the purport. You read the purport.
Because I am seeing in mobiles, it's very small, very difficult to read.
Oh, okay. But you're hearing, na?
It's a purport or translation I can read.
No, translation, purport you have to read. 32 words.
It's very small in mobile, difficult to read.
Okay, okay, fine. The vacuum felt by Vyasdev was not due to his lack of knowledge. Bhagavad Dharma is purely devotional service to the Lord, to which the monist has no access. Monist is not counted among the Paramahamsas. Srimad Bhagavatam is full of narrations of transcendental activities. Although Vyasdev was an empowered divinity, he still felt dissatisfaction because in none of his works were the transcendental activities of Lord properly explained. Go down. Move down. I will scroll down. Revolve.
Yes, Puji, I will scroll down, Puji.
Hare Krishna.
I have already scrolled down. I have already scrolled down, Prabhuji.
Yeah. It is definitely expressed here. Sorry, none of its works were translated properly explained. The inspiration was infused by Krishna directly in the heart of Vyasadeva. That's what I was mentioning now. The inspiration was infused by Krishna directly in the heart of Vyasadeva. And thus he felt the vacuum. As explained above, it is definitely expressed herewith that without the transcendental loving service to Lord, everything is void. But in the transcendental service of Lord, everything is tangible without any separate attempt at fruit to work for. So basically, another point is mentioned, Prabhupada, there, the inspiration was infused by Sri Krishna directly in the heart of Vyasadeva. That means, because he was honestly endeavoring, Krishna wanted to help him out. And he helped him out by revealing within the heart that incomplete glorification of the Lord. Yeah, go to the last verse. Rekha Rani Mataji, would you like to recite it? I think I'm seeing you here. Hare Krishna. Rekha Rani.
Hare Krishna.
Would you like to recite the last verse? 33.
Here it's showing the purport only.
Yeah, it is coming now. So good. Yeah. Please recite after me. Tam abhignaya sahasa
Tam abhigyaya sahasa
pratyuttayagatam muni
pratyuthaya gatam muni
pujayam asa vidhivan
pujyamasa vidhi naradam
naradam surapujitam.
naradam surpujitam.
Yeah. Read the translation. Read the translation.
At the auspicious arrival of Sri Narada, Sri Vasudeva got up respectfully and worshipped him, giving him veneration equal to that given to Brahmaji, the creator.
Yeah.
The purport is saying.
Purport you don't read. So translation is very, very crucial. You see how it is important to receive the guest or receive the guru. This is what explained here. So Vyasdev was in a problem and Narada is coming to help his problem out. In one sense, Vyasdev need not to give much attention to, okay, Narada, ठीक है आ रहे हैं मेरा प्रॉब्लम है और बताएंगे क्या प्रॉब्लम नहीं. Immediately he never compromised in his expressing gratitude or worship of the reverential guru who is coming in front, Narada, and he gave the respect and veneration, worshipped him at the level of Brahma, who is the Adi Guru. Because for Vyasdev, Brahma is the main guru, first guru, because he heard from Krishna and Brahma spoke to Narada and Narada spoke to Vyasadeva, the knowledge. So therefore he wanted to serve his guru just like that of the main guru or the Brahma, the Adi Guru. So this etiquette he never compromised. Just because he's in problem, he not neglected the regular etiquettes. Same thing we see Bhishma Dev also. He was lying on the deathbed, arrow bed, but whoever came there in the Kurukshetra Yuddha Bhumi to receive him, to see him at the time of his death, he welcomed everyone. He was unable to get up and stand and pay obeisances because he was lying on arrow bed. But he just smilingly addressed them. With his eyes, he paid obeisances to them. So this type of etiquette need to be maintained. So you are not having so much problem that you lose composure about other aspects of the life, dealing and everything. So this is very crucial. Okay. So in this way, we'll conclude here today's session, and thank you which one of you for taking out your valuable time. And you can stop the shares out of group. In this way, this particular section of appearance of Narada. Well, first Narada should appear, the Guru should appear in the heart by serious contemplation. Am I going right in my life? People think, many of us might have thought, am I successful in my life? मैं तो 10th पास कर दिया, मैं 12th भी complete किया, then मैंने अभी engineering में जा रहा हूँ. Is it life going on? That is the time where devotees knocked your door. We have Bhagavad Gita sessions, we have DYS sessions. Please enroll for it. So that means you contemplated something in life earlier, and immediately the Chaitya Guru has directed you or directed a devotee to your room, to your place. And that's how you get the help of Chaitya Guru, the super soul, Paramatma, from the day one we came in this material world. But this is the real help you can take from Paramatma to be guided in spiritual life. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we will stop the recording here. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki.